This is Jim Breen with Advanced Trading Technologies. This is going to serve as a user manual for people who don't like to read. Before you even get started with our software, there's a couple things you need to do to prepare your computer to be compatible with our system. The first thing you need to do is to go to your control panel, and what you need to, first of all, if you happen to have McAfee's or Norton Utilities as an antivirus program, I would suggest that you remove it by going through your control panel and uninstall those programs. They can interfere with the trading process. An alternative solution, which is economical, is called Avast, A-V-A-S-T. We also, and it's by the same company, it's another antivirus program, and it's free as well, and it's called Avira, A-V-I-R-A. You might look for either of those, just Google it, and I think you'll find them pretty easily. Even the free versions work well. I've never had a problem with either of them protecting my computer. All right, so another thing you need to do in the control panel is set up your Windows updates to be only turned on when you want it to. So you change your settings to be check for updates, but let you choose to download and install them when you want to. If you happen to be doing that during the day when you're trading, and Windows wants to shut down your computer and restart it, that's going to cause a problem, especially if you're in the middle of a trade. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing, it's okay to have your screensaver working, but you do not want to have your computer going to sleep at any time during the day when you're trading. So you need to disable that and just choose to have it never go to sleep. So those are the two things you need to do, or three things you need to do to set up in advance. So now I'll go into more specifics related to our software. We trade three markets. This is the Russell 2000. It's the symbol on it currently is TF, and then the rest of it changes. The H means the March contract. This symbol changes every 3 months. We'll give you advance warning when to change it, and we'll tell you also how to do that. And I might as well just go ahead and tell you how to do that right now. If you are going to be changing to the new symbol that's going to be coming up, what you would do is left click on this chart one time, and let's say we were going to go and trade the June contract when that would be available to us, which it is now, but it's a little premature. But what you would do is you would type the symbol TFM, like in Mary, 1-5, and then you would hit the enter key. That changes the symbol, and this is a dialog box just telling you it doesn't have all the data in there yet. So that's how you change symbols. So I'm going to change it back to TFH15, which is the current contract we're trading, and that's how you do that. So you just simply type in the symbol after you've clicked on the chart once just to activate it, and then you hit at the enter key. I send out inputs each day, and those inputs are based on an optimization process that we use, and I'll show you how we go into that feature. You go up, you click on the chart to activate it, you go to Format, Strategies, click on Format, and then here you will put the numbers in just the way we give them to you, with this exception. If you're trading 2 contracts, that's the number of inputs that we provide is based on that. If you were to trade only 1 contract, you would then just simply change it by hitting a 1 and then hitting enter. And you would also divide the max daily loss number that we give you in half. So in this case, 1175 divided by 2 would be 587. And then the rest of these numbers, typically this number changes, which is the time of day that we start. That may stay the same for 2 or 3 days in a row and then all of a sudden change. These numbers here, 1 through 5, are basically percentages of the price move that needs to take place to enter or exit a position. These numbers change virtually every day. And once you've put all those numbers in, you then click OK. And then to automate the strategy, you click here. You'll get a warning sign saying your orders will be automated. And you also need to have this be off. This allows you to trade without your intervention, without any input from you. And once you've got your setup done this way, you click the close button, and that's all there is to it. Now it'll be ready to trade the next day going forward on this particular chart. We also trade the ES and the NQ, and you can expand or reduce the size of the chart just by clicking on this button. What you don't want to do is click the red one. That'll close the chart up and you'll lose the chart altogether. I wouldn't recommend you minimize it either. You can also make the chart any size you want by just grabbing the corner of it with your mouse and pull it around to whatever size you prefer to look at it. We do not trade on holidays. Holidays, there is trading going on, typically in the early morning until part of the day. And so for that reason, we don't trade those days at all. I recommend that you just close down TradeStation altogether by closing it here, and just wait until after the holiday is passed. The next day after 6 p.m. you can then load up TradeStation again and be ready to trade the next day. Sometimes before and after a holiday there will also be modified hours, and we'll try to keep you advised of that in advance. There's a couple things you don't need, and when you first sign up for TradeStation, they try to get you to use this stuff. You can go to the Help menu, go to Account Services, and you can click on Add or Remove Data Features. One of the things you do not want is Radar Screen or Option Station. So you need to sign into this particular place, and I'll show you where those are. This is where you can modify your software data subscriptions. And the reason that you don't need these, but they're also, they try to get you to pay for this stuff later after they've given it to you free for 90 days. So you go to the edit here, and this is where you can edit, and you want to make sure that Option Station and Radar Screen, and you don't need TradeStation Portfolio Maestro either. You don't need any of those three. What you want to do is let's go back here to the US data. Trying to get that to come in here. Here we go. The only thing you need is to go to the futures, and you could use this Globex value bundle. That's $20 a month. That gives you the data feed for the ES and the NQ. The ES is the S&P 500 futures. The NQ is the NASDAQ futures. The only other option or thing that you might need is if you choose to trade the Russell 2000, you will need the ICE US data package. It's $95 a month, which is outrageous, but we can't get around it. That's for the real-time data, tick data for the Russell 2000 futures. And so anyway, that's how you can go in and modify your subscription. Now, a couple things if you are trading or want to trade. And I suggest that you start out with simulated trading just for at least 3 or 4 days to make sure everything is working correctly. You go to Format Strategies, and if you don't remember to click this to off, what's going to happen is if it's left to on, that means it's going to ask for your approval before it enters a trade. So if you're not home, it can't do anything without your approval. So that has to be on off. Okay. Now, that's really all there is to it. I could go into some other details about the trading platform, how to enter and exit a trade if push came to shove and you lost internet connection. I have already done that on another video, which is in the user manual, and I'd like you to look at that. It just kind of gives you better familiarity on how to use the TradeStation platform, and goes in a little bit more detail there. So that ends this. That ends this particular video. I hope it was helpful, and I'll give you just a couple important things that I think are worth noting. You know, when we send out inputs, we hope that those inputs will be good for trading the next day going forward, but we have no guarantee of that. We don't know what's going to happen in the market tomorrow, what kind of market it's going to be, whether it's going to be a flat market with choppy price trends, or whether it's going to be a trending market where we've got a good price pattern that can tend to be profitable. And so we just have to accept that we're going to have some days that are winning days and some days that are losing days. What's important is that you use our software consistently. And when I say that, because there are times where you may lose money for 2 or 3 days in a row, and it tends to spook people out. And what happens is they stop trading, and that's exactly when the things turn around and we end up with a real profitable day. And it's these big profitable days that tend to override the losses that we also incur. So I really strongly recommend that you use our software on a consistent basis. And I found that the clients that do that tend to be more successful than those who try to duck in and out and second guess when it's going to be profitable. So anyway, I hope that this has been helpful, and good luck with your trading.